Welcome to Music Pro Daily, where each day we share our insight to help music producers grow their brand, land more clients, and connect with the market. The Music Pro Daily podcast shares real value from the daily interactions of music professionals Nicholas Di Lorenzo and myself, Daniel Grimmett. Happy Monday, Music Pro Daily family. Starting off another week here of great episodes for you. As always, thanks for making us a part of your daily routine. We really appreciate it. And if you enjoy the show, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about it, all that good stuff. It really helps. So today I'm going to share my thoughts with you on Spotify buying the freelancer marketplace, the music freelancer marketplace, SoundBetter. And if you don't know what SoundBetter is, basically it's a website where creators can go hire other music creators. So if you're an artist, you can go hire a producer or a beat maker. If you're a producer, you can go hire a vocalist or top liner. You can hire instrumentalists, mixing, mastering, all of that stuff. And I believe they started that site somewhere around like 2011, 2012. So it's been around for a little while. The founder, Shahar, who was based in Israel, and his team, they really did a phenomenal job building this platform, and being involved in it early on was one of the big wins that my music production company had. Back at the end of probably, I think 2014, Shahar, the founder, had reached out to my company directly. I think he originally thought that we were a competitor. We had a lot of the same kind of keyword rankings on Google, and we're competing for some of the same stuff. But we had a chat with them and kind of learned more about what they were doing, and vice versa, and sort of told them like, oh no, we're just a production team. We work directly with clients. We're not a platform or anything like that. And he was like, well, hey, we're looking for production teams. At that time, they were trying to build a bigger talent pool as traffic was coming to the site. And there you have it. It was the start of a really nice thing for my production company, especially back then. And back then, really, the site was so new that Shahar would actually just personally recommend people to us as leads came through. He had, I guess, a handful of people that did different things. And when people came through the site looking for someone, he would make the connection personally. It was before they deployed all of the fancy technology that they have now on the platform. It was pretty cool. So SoundBetter was also the catalyst for a lot of our employees, people that worked for me at Songwriting Team, to go on and kind of build their own freelance audio business. We had a lot of like vocalists and mixers and things that worked for us. They would come work for us, get really fast, get good, learn the process of running that kind of business, and then basically use SoundBetter to launch their solo businesses, if you will. So it was really cool to see it, be a catalyst for people getting started in the online, collaboration space. So I just want to start with that. I do have a good history with the platform, and I think that it's really awesome, and I'm pumped for Shahar and the acquisition of his business. So with that said, what do I think about Spotify buying it? I've had a couple people reach out and ask me about it. So I'm really hopeful and positive about it. I think it's a cool thing. The primary thing that makes that platform work is having a balance of providers and customers. Basically, like, the more people there, the better. Okay, but it has to be a balance of providers and both people that need providers. That's why if you've ever tried to like apply for their premium accounts, you may have been put on kind of a long waiting list, and that's because they have to balance that number. And although it may be frustrating, it is important. Like, that's really what makes the platform legitimate. Shahar could have made way more money right out of the gate just charging anyone and everyone a membership fee. But that would have ruined the platform, because then you have all these people paying this membership fee to be a premium provider, and not really getting a good slice of the pie. It would have just been a big money grab, and he didn't do that. So that's what I think really legitimized the platform. So what I'm excited about is that Spotify really has the money and the brand name to pump, thousands of new people to the platform. And I've already seen them running a bunch of ads, the Spotify for Artists platform that they have. They've already started running a bunch of ads for Sound Better stuff. And in my opinion, that really stimulates the economy for independent music creators. And obviously it was a smart move for Spotify. They're trying to just build their vertical. It's the same thing where you see Amazon go and buy up grocery stores because they want to dominate that. They want everything under one roof. And if Spotify can have the music creation itself, plus the distribution, plus the playlisting, pretty cool. So I see why they did it. It made a lot of sense. So anyway, I think Spotify is not that Sound Better wasn't. They were doing a great job of getting people, to the site. But it costs a lot of money to do that. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully I'm not misspeaking here, I'm pretty sure Sound Better did raise some capital at some point to help with that. And they did a good job, but at some point, you got to bring in a heavy hitter. So Spotify obviously has a ton of money to pump into this and bring a lot of people to the site, both providers and people who need these services. It also normalizes the process of working virtually or remotely with clients using the internet, which is a model that I was an early adopter of, and I prefer it and think it's fantastic. And when I started doing it in 2012, it wasn't a super common thing. So the fact that seeing this 7 years later of how normalized it is, and the fact that Spotify, one of the biggest music companies ever, has purchased this platform, it really legitimizes that way of working, and that I'm excited about, because that's going to help people on the platform, off the platform, just in general. So I know that a lot of people's income depends on that site, on Sound Better. And I know that whenever anything changes, people get a little scared or tripped up. And I get that. So I just wanted to share my thoughts and let you guys know that I do think it's a good thing. I don't think it's going to negatively impact the people that already have a strong foothold there. With all that said, my general advice though is do not make Sound Better or any platform your sole revenue source. If it is right now, you can definitely milk it and go all in on it while it's working, but just make sure you're also preparing. You're not taking all of your attention away from other things. Nothing will beat. I don't think I'm hoping nothing happens for it, but let's say, I don't know, Spotify gets sued or something, and they need to shut something off in order to get some, to sell off something to get some revenue to cover some other problem. They may drop some of these smaller things that they have on board like that. That stuff could happen. I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but you never know, right? So technically that could happen with anyone, but so it's nothing to really. I wouldn't keep yourself up at night about it necessarily, but it is important to prepare. Nothing will ever beat having your own platform, which I basically just define that as having your own presence across multiple channels, your own process for bringing clients that don't just depend on one place. That way, if one thing goes down or one thing, lessens for whatever reason, you aren't screwed. With my production company, we had, clients that would come in locally. We had a strong referral strategy. We had people that would find us through Google, which at the time was a big thing. We had people that came through us from our YouTube channel. We had people that came through us from Sound Better. We had a big email list that we continued to build relationships with. We were always doing guest content for other things and buying up other little small businesses like sample pack companies, which would come with a mailing list of 7,000 new people, some of those of which needed our services. Just, we'd always have 6 or 7 different things, because basically when I started my production company, the first year it was just me, and I really depended on one source. It was working, and I was like, well, cool, I'm going to go all in on this, and that's all I did. And thank God, behind the scenes, I was working on another kind of building up some our website and Google SEO stuff, just out of pure interest, basically. It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't strategically planned, really. I didn't predict that our first, primary source of projects was going to go down. I wish I could look back and say, yeah, I was smart and I, predicted that it would happen. That's why I started other things. It was sheerly by luck that I started other things. And guess what happened? The first thing completely went down, and cut off, immediately. And thank God we had another thing that was just picking up, because it saved us. I wouldn't be here today probably if that happened. Same things happened recently with, one of my consulting clients who heavily relied on organic reach of Instagram, which changed. And luckily, for the past couple years, he's been making awesome resources and building this mailing list. Never really used it. Luckily, he had this audience of 2,000-3,000 people that knew who he was sitting aside when the Instagram thing happened. He kind of pivoted over there and saved him. So, you got it. Nothing's going to beat having your own platform, but I think Sound Better is a fantastic, fantastic piece of that. And to me, it's not too late. A lot of people are like, oh, it's too late to be on. Now, was it good in 2014 when no one else was on it? Hell yeah, it was great. I mean, but on one hand, there was probably less people hiring because it wasn't as popular. But yeah, there was less, competition. But you know what? Like, you could have been there in 2014 and you weren't. So sorry. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely give up on it. The fact that they're injecting a bunch of new cash into this project and getting new eyes on it, I think it's a great time to get in, whether you can get a premium account or not. I know a ton of people who do well on it and don't have premium accounts because they stand out or they do something interesting. And I'll leave you with this that will help. If you wanted to know kind of my tips or best practices for getting the most out of Sound Better, I actually made a video on this a while back. You can go check it out. It's over on the Make Pop Music YouTube channel. I think if you just search for Sound Better on YouTube, it'll come up as one of the first couple videos, and just look for the one that's Make Pop Music. I think it has kind of a yellow background or something. And you could check it out. I have a little bit more tactical stuff on how you can get the most out of Sound Better as a provider. So yeah, that's all for this one. Thanks again for listening. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, because I'll be dropping some knowledge on some big topics. Have a good one. A monumental thank you to those listening and those of you who share, subscribe, and review this podcast. Music Pro Daily is all orchestrated in-house by Nicholas Di Lorenzo and myself, Daniel Grimmett. The music industry is our shared passion. If you ever want to see more of us in the office or at the studio, head over to musicprodaily.com, where you can find links to our socials and stalk more of us doing what we do best. Thanks again for listening. See you tomorrow.